Alright, so Chapter 7, Season 3 has finally arrived. As of this video, there's still downtime, but by the time you watch this, maybe the game will be live. But we have the patch notes and everything that has changed. There are some drastic changes. Holy smokes, are there ever. Let me cover everything that is new in Season 3. So this is straight from the official Fortnite blog. It says, this season, power isn't given, it's taken. The island's been reassembled with twisted takes on familiar POIs in a fresh map dropping today, the Shattered Coast. And here's the map right here. Look at this. It's essentially a brand new map in the middle of the season. It's kind of, well, I was going to say star-shaped, but not necessarily. It kind of reminds me of a ninja throwing star. But look, so many places have brand new names. We still have a few POIs like Wonky Land, which has been completely moved to the top right. We've got Latte Landing still. Battle Woods has been moved in the center of the map, essentially. And then pretty much everything on the bottom is new. Sinister Strip, Shaken Sanctuary, Cluster Coast, Sunken Shores, Heatwave Harbor, Calamari Canyon, Chopped Shop, and then Lefty Lodge is up top. Holy cow, that's crazy. We also have Golden Grove and Frosted Flats, so I can't wait to experience this. This looks incredible. Now next up it says find a sprite, extract it, collect it. Sprites with new abilities are all over the new island, and everyone wants them. Find one in a match and extract your sprite to add it to your collection. Bring them to future matches and get their powers from the jump. Some have the ability to wrap you in shields, grant temporary invisibility, or give bonus burst damage. Rare ones can change the whole flow of a match, so sprites are going to be a huge part of this season. Then it says Tools of the Trade. There's a new arsenal this season with John Wick's pistol of choice and the Dark Voyager's heavy AR. Slide faster than you can run with 7 sliders and triple jump off shock rocks. Move like the island owes you something. And then it says here's what's waiting when you drop in. So we've kind of got a little all-in-one image here. We've got the name of the sprites in the top left. So the Duck Sprite, the Punk Sprite, the King Sprite, and the 0 Point Sprite. So I'll tell you what those do in just a second. On the right, it says new map. So this 100% is a new map. It's called Shattered Coast. So it shows the map there. Then we've got Cluster Coast, the 0 Point, Heatwave Harbor. I mentioned some of those. We got the new loot pool. So the Surgical Burst Rifle. Ooh, I hate Burst Rifle. The Sprite Extractor, the Lance Head Pistol, the Extending Focus Shotgun, the Chaos Exploder Rifle, and the 7 sliders. Now in the middle it says coming soon, Battle Bus Victory Royale, so I'll talk about that in a minute. Bank Shot Pistol, Clusters Contraband and Shock Rock, and more. Then on the left it says all new gameplay, extraction sites, Sprite kiosks, new mastery rewards, Sprite Dust, and then collect and display sprites. So that sums up the entire season right there. Everything. So now let's dive into more of the details of the season. So they further elaborated here. They said this season is all about getting in, grabbing power packing sprites, and doing whatever it takes to extract them for the next match. So let's talk about the sprites. It says extract it or lose it. In this new reality, sprites are diverse and coveted helpers, with each granting a special sprite power ability when equipped. Find a sprite in a match, get to an extraction site, defend your pickup while the timer runs, and you'll bank it to your collection for use in future matches. Get eliminated before you bank your sprite, and it'll be left on the battlefield for the next player to steal. Be sure to grab these if you find them. So for the rare ones, there's the Earth, Fire, and Water sprite. The Earth one, it says you have a chance to find additional rare items when opening chests. So that's pretty good. Fire Sprite says creates a fiery burst when you deal enough damage to an enemy. Water Sprite has been nerfed a bit. It says replenish shield while in water for you and your nearby squad. So that's not how that used to work. You used to just throw it down and it would heal you. Now you got to go in water. Then we've got some epic ones, the Duck Sprite, the Ghost Sprite, the Demon Sprite, and the King Sprite. So the Duck one, it says emoting or jamming replenishes shields. So that's awesome. I like that one. The Ghost one says grants cloak for a duration upon reloading. Demon says siphon some health and shields when you eliminate an opponent. So that 100% will be the best Sprite. That's Siphon. King Sprite, probably the worst one in my opinion. It says your pickaxe deals more damage. Then we've got two legendary ones, the Dream Sprite and the Punk Sprite. The Dream says grants a random item at each level, exploding with legendary loot at max level. So that's good. Punk Sprite says possibly nothing or infinitely something. What in the world does that mean? I have no idea. And then there's one mythic Sprite. It's the 0 Point Sprite. It says spawn a Shield Bubble Jr. when you use a healing item on yourself. So that could be beneficial, but to be a mythic, I would have expected more. I think they should swap the Punk Sprite with the 0 Point one. Assuming that infinitely something is something amazing. Okay, next let's talk about extracting and Sprite Dust. So it says, successful extractions also earn you Sprite Dust, the currency that powers your collection in future matches. Spend Sprite Dust at the start of any match to summon a Sprite you've already extracted, equipping its Sprite power before you drop from the bus. The rarer the Sprite, the more dust it costs to summon. Sprite Dust can also be spent to upgrade your Sprite's powers and loot. Ooh, that's awesome. So you can't just extract a Sprite and then use it the next match. You have to do that, but then you also have to spend Sprite Dust, apparently, to use it. So that's a little balancing feature, I guess. So then it says there are 3 key ways in which sprites level up. Exploration, in parentheses, finding and opening chests. Eliminations, in parentheses, downing and eliminating opponents. And by extraction, in parentheses, extracting sprites. Getting a Sprite to max level is no easy feat, so we recommend attempting it across multiple runs. And if you extract a max level Sprite, you will master it. It is this mastery that will unlock progression rewards as you play through the season. So I don't know how exactly that's going to work, and I don't know what upgrading them essentially does, but I can't wait to find out. It sounds like it's going to be a grind, which is awesome. Then it says keep your eyes peeled for rare special variants of sprites with a small bonus effect available throughout the season. From daily drops to power hours and more. Ooh. More incentive to play daily and also on the weekends for the power hours, which I know a lot of people can't always make, so we'll see how they do that. Now, speaking of extraction, it says new extraction Gizmos. There's no wrong way to extract a Sprite. New Gizmo consumables will be available all season that give you quick ways to shortcut and supercharge your Sprite extractions. Play it safe or create a high-risk, high-reward hotspot. These new gizmos, like the golden fireworks that debuted on Community Day, will start in your pickaxe slot when you jump from the bus. Your gizmo inventory will persist all season long, but will expire when the season ends, though, so be sure to use them. So there's 3 of these gizmos to extract, I guess. The portable extractor, the lucky locator, and the extraction site booster. So the portable extractor says extract your equipped Sprite from anywhere on the island. Perfect for that rare Sprite you've been searching for. The lucky locator says coming later this season, so not immediately upon the new season's release. Tracks down a buried chest that's guaranteed to have a Sprite you haven't collected. And then the extraction site booster, also coming later this season. Call in a special extraction crate that will boost any Sprite extracted at the site. This will get other players' attention. And it notes gizmos can't be traded and dropped when eliminated, so no risk of losing one. You can earn more gizmos by completing bonus goal quests, trading in Sprite Dust, and completing your Sprite Mastery progression. Okay, then it talks about the new weapons. So it says lock, loaded, and sliding. 4 new weapons drop with version 41, with more to come later in the season. We got the extending focus shotgun. It says long range, barrel lengthens as spread tightens across a 3-round volley. So that's the triple shotgun. Surgical burst rifle, burst fire, low recoil, minimal damage fall off. The chaos exploder rifle. The Dark Voyager's heavy AR, firing explosive cubes. Especially nasty when playing around cover, it says. Then lastly, the lance head pistol. This is his John Wick's sidearm, a 21-round mag. Throw your magazine at nearby enemies when reloading for additional damage. That is awesome. And then it says, later in the season, look out for the bank shot pistol that bounce shots off surfaces to hit your target with a ricochet, trick shot. And then it says, joining them are 2 new movement items, the 7 sliders and the shock rocks. Glide faster than your legs can carry you with 7 sliders. Aim down sights with your equipped weapon mid-slide to slow time for a clean shot. And let the jets launch you skyward. Shock rocks arrive later this season. Crush one to perform 3 mid-air leaps. Okay, so the shock rocks sound awesome, but not until later in the season. Then it says, returning to the loot pool, the Striker Pump, the Maven Auto Shotgun, love that Maven, the Ranger Pistol, the Stinger SMG, the Hunting Rifle, oh no, one-shot headshots, and Chaos Reloader Shotgun. Now listen to this. This one is huge. It says, later this season, bus exfil. And it says, later this season, matches may end differently. There will be a small percentage chance that in some matches, the battle bus will rift back into the map. And you'll have a window to board it. Climb on, grapple up, get at least one teammate to the rift out point, and your team secures the victory. Multiple teams can win this way per match. So it's like the heist game mode we had a long time ago. It was called Getaway. You had to go up to the battle bus and that's how you won. So that is pretty sweet. Now there's also a few quality of life improvements. Listen carefully because some of these are awesome. The first one, Festival Auras now trigger on Victory Royale. This is huge. It says, we've heard your calls for auras. Your equipped Fortnite Festival Aura now plays during your Victory Royale moment in Battle Royale. And then they seem to have nerfed the visualized audio quite a bit. So listen to this one. Distance-based transparency, it says. Audio visualizer icons for gunshots and footsteps now fade based on distance. Close threats stay fully opaque. Distant ones go transparent. Then it says reduced audio visualizer range for footsteps. This one's huge. It says footsteps now surface on the indicator at a shorter range than gunshots, reflecting that footsteps are a close range cue. Next, it says Ground Rush goes global. So this is where you could cut your glider and drop straight down. This is now in builds as well as zero builds. And it says zero build Ground Rush glider redeploy. It says Ground Rush now activates from glider redeploy states, not just initial drops or launch pads. So now you can cut your glider at any point when you open your glider. So that's cool. Next, it says Battle Bus aim down sights. During the Battle Bus ride into a match, you can now aim down sights to get a better view of the map. Also makes pinging and marking your drop site easier. There apparently is a new controller setting. You can read that there if you want. I don't know how exactly that's going to play out. I didn't really understand what it meant. I'm going to fiddle around with it and see. And then lastly, it says updated storm times. And this should be pretty good. It says, we've made some storm circle timing changes to better pace matches and prevent slow endgames. These timing changes are not in competitive or ranked. And it says this is intended to reduce situations where the number of players remaining in final storm phases is disproportionate to the available play area. As part of this, we're making adjustments to improve match pacing and help games reach a conclusion at a reasonable rate. These changes are designed to achieve that without making the storm feel overly aggressive while still preserving adequate time during the early and mid game for looting, exploration, and engagement opportunities. Tell us how it feels. So, wow, that is everything in a nutshell with Chapter 7 Season 3. I can't believe there's a brand new map, a brand new exfil system, a brand new way later this season to win Battle Royale games, and of course, the variety of sprites and the incredible Battle Pass. This is going to be an amazing season. So I've got a ton of content in store for the first day of Season 3. Stay tuned for that. So there you go. That's all there is to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like is always appreciated. And don't forget to use my Support-A-Creator code, which is tabortime.